And I'm so glad that you could join us today. We think this is a fantastic program. We are so excited that we have all 11 candidates for school board who are here with us. Let's go ahead and welcome them and thank them for their time this morning. We're going to move pretty quickly today. So with that, I'm going to ask you all to please stand. I'm going to bring our invocation and then we'll do the Pledge of Allegiance. Will you pray with me, please? Father God, we thank you so much for today, for another day to praise you through our work, through our efforts, and through our deeds. Father, we just ask that you be with each business, each individual, each family represented here today. Father, we thank you for these folks who have been willing to put their name forward, willing to run, wanting all to make this a better community for our children and to provide an excellent education. Father, thank you for all of your blessings each and every day. We ask these things in your name, in the name of your Son, Jesus, in the name of the Spirit. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hopefully you took advantage as you came in to grab the bios of each of our candidates. We previously had sent to them 10 questions that were put together by our Business Advocacy Committee. And in fact, just very quickly, if you're on our Business Advocacy Committee, could you raise your hand? We can all see several here today. Their responses, exactly as we received them, we've not edited them at all, are printed out front. We will also be posting that on our website and sending that out to all of our partners. But because of time this morning, we'll be asking the candidates 3 questions. These are 3 questions in addition to the 10 that they've already responded to. Moderating today will be the Vice Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Chamber and Economic Partnership and Chair of our Business Advocacy Committee, Kevin McDonald. Kevin is the Principal at the McDonald Agency. And please join me in welcoming Kevin.
On behalf of the Business Advocacy Committee, I appreciate each one of you being here. Certainly, sincerely appreciate each one of the candidates, your willingness to put your name in the hat and serve this community, and certainly appreciate your attendance and participation this morning. All right, my role is the ogre. I'm the ground rules guy and the enforcer. So basically, the stoplight, traffic light in the back of the room, green, yellow, and red. So we have a 90-second window for every response. Okay, the light will be green for 60 seconds. At the end of 60 seconds, it'll go yellow, giving you an indication you have 30 seconds to complete your response. At red, I need you to stop. And I will politely remind you that we need to move along. We've got a very full agenda, and our intent is to run a timely forum this morning. So I will introduce a question to each one of you. Actually introduce a question. Each one will respond. The second question and the third question are 2-part questions. And I'll jump through the order so as to give everybody a little bit of a different rotation. But the first question, I'll start right here with Chase and just work straight through the line. And let me introduce the first question. And again, if by the time we get halfway down the line, if you'd like for me to restate the question, I'd be happy to do that. As a school board member, from whom will you seek advice or input in weighing key decisions?
Good morning, by the way. I'm Chase Basinger. Good to be with you. Liz, that's a very good question. A question probably that this business community really wants to know about. Where would we seek our counsel from? And let me tell you, as a former businessman, someone who's worked in community and done work in that area, really you've got to go back to your business leaders. You've got to go back to your constituents, who in this case are the taxpayers. And as you can read probably in my questionnaires, I would have an open door. Any decision made on the school board Your ears and eyes have got to be open to what the community is in tune with, okay? And there's a lot of things that we can talk about when it comes to our community and what they're hearing and what they're saying. And as a school board member seeking advice, my ears and eyes will be open. Ears and eyes open to what the community has to say. Listen, they know what they think, and each and every one of you, we can step out from this building, and we can step right onto the street, and that parent from Vanguard, from Forest High, they can tell you exactly what is on their mind. And as school board members, us sitting up here, it is our job to seek their counsel, to seek their knowledge, know what they're thinking, know what their mind, so we can bring it to the school board, because we represent them. They are the taxpayer, they are the parent, they are the business owner. That's you, that's me, and that's them. So, who would I go and seek counsel from? It would be you. As a business counsel, you would help me make decisions. I would go to the parents. They will help me make decisions, better decisions. I will go to the taxpayer, because I'm certainly going to have their ear as well. So that's my answer.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Jamie Bevan. I'm running for School Board District 4. I have many people who I would seek information from. I do not claim to know everything. None of us know everything. So I have certain individuals in the community that I can lean on. I can seek information. I can ask about the budget. I can ask about policies. I can ask about curriculum. I have people in the district office that I've actually graduated high school with that I've actually been seeking counsel from them on some different decisions that we've been making in the school district. I also will seek information from the community. I want to hear from you, the parents, the teachers, the administrators, and the community. There's absolutely no reason to think that any of us sitting up here knows everything. And we need to have good people in good standing with us to be able to ask questions. I could name names, but I don't want to, you're going to be very embarrassed if I start naming names, because some of them are sitting in the audience today. So just know that I am Jamie Bevan. I am seeking School Board District 4, and I will do the right thing. Thank you very much.
Good morning, my name is Angie Boynton, and as your current school board member, I will continue to do the same as I did. First I pray, then I seek counsel from staff and ask how it's affecting you. I also ask, teachers. I also ask parents. And then I also ask some students and strangers that I meet in lines everywhere. I talk to them about issues that we are facing and things that we'll be voting on and get their opinion and their input. So I will continue to do the same thing. My name is Angie Boynton, and I do seek your support for the Marion County School Board, District 4.
Good morning. My name is Ron Crawford. And, I've served on the board now for almost 16 years, and I've used a very simple method. I try to get advice from everybody that I can get hold of. I talk to people in the community. I'm getting real good over the years of doing this. When I'm in a grocery store or another store, telling people go ahead and go on and check out. But I consult the administration. I check people in the schools. My biggest question is, how is this going to affect the students on our campuses? What time frame are you planning to do it in, and what is going to be the cost on it? So I always pose those questions, and I try to get as much advice as possible, and make my decisions based on the input that I get back, and also what my personal beliefs are. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Dan Torrin. I'm running for School Board District 3. Probably the question is definitely the community, but I also want to include students. Yes, students may say they want what they want, but if we don't listen to students, then how are we supposed to pick the books and the lesson parts that they want? But we need to include parents, community leaders, and the students. Thank you.
I'm Bobby James. I'm running for District 3 School Board. I believe in one teacher, one classroom, one school, one community. This is where my communication will be. It has always been that. I've been a part of your community for a long time. But Bobby James, and this is he, have taken it a step further. I became chairman of the Central Florida Coalition of School Boards. This is the 10th largest districts outside of Miami-Dade. And we counsel and we talk about the trends in education. I am one of the 5 delegates to the National School Boards Association because I know how important it is to connect the dots. One teacher, one classroom, one school, one country, one nation. Because I know the decisions that we make will impact the lives of students that will be competing throughout the United States and the world. So I do value what you say. Bobby James will always be the person that you will get an answer from, a person that you can trust in reference to this. So as I look at what we're talking about here today, I would like for you to remember this. We are all part of the system, and I have to listen to one teacher, one classroom, one school, one community, and all of you are a part of that. So when you ask me, who will I listen to? It's that one statement. I will listen to everybody that will talk to me. And then I will come up with a decision that will be very factual, be firm, and will be committed to the education of our young. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Kelly King, and I'm running for School Board District 5. And one of the goals that I believe that this county needs is I think we all need to put our input in. I feel that we need to enhance community involvement, and that would include the parents, it would include administration, it would include teachers, and of course it would also include the students because obviously, they're the ones that we're affecting. And I believe that we all want to produce quality, productive citizens, and that is our goal. And as a school board member, my goal would be to communicate with the community and make sure that we work on producing these quality, good, productive citizens. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jane Modi, and I'm running for the Marion County School Board. If we go back to the history of the school board, in 1833, town hall meetings were held by the community. In 1837, the first superintendent was elected by the community. We live in a democracy. It's for the people, by the people, and that's what we need to uphold. It's always for the community. So my accountability, where I would look for answers, is the community, the school board, the parents, the community, its school board, the teachers, the parents, and we all should uphold what's in the best interest of the students. Unless we have accountability, and with the community I mean the taxpayers and everybody that is involved. We need to link to the community, we need to find answers. A problem of this magnitude, we cannot solve it without community involvement. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Diane Schreer. Thank you very much for having us. I am running for District 4 also. What I would first do is research the problem as much as I can. I find out what's happening in other communities, how they're handling the problems, have there been problems, have there not been problems. Look at other states also, see how they've handled this problem. Then I would go talk to the community and find out who's the aspects of the community that are most related to the issue. If it's a financial problem, talk to the banks, talk to businesses, see what we have to do. I would talk to parents, I would talk to the students, certainly because everything we do affects them. I talk to community leaders, our school representatives. I talk to all the groups that I could talk to because it's very important that we all come together on major decisions. If we don't, a decision fails, and it gets torn up in argument. We have to have consensus, and make sure that we're all on the same page when we decide to do something. We waste too much time by argument when things have to get done. Thank you. I'm Diane Schreer, and I'm running for District 4.
Good morning. My name is Jim Touchland. I'm running for District 3 School Board. And the first step I would take would be to seek divine guidance, not only to get an answer, but also to understand the issue itself. At that point, then I would go on, depending on what kind of issue we're discussing or making a decision on, involving the entire community, every education stakeholder, all the way from trying to get some kind of student input. Obviously, I'm not going to ask a lot of 5-year-olds for information, but when you involve high school students, the ones that are actually there, then you go to the teachers, you can work with the school administration, you work with the business partners. We've already got, every school has a business partner. What's their input, what's their take? Then you move on up into where has this issue shown itself before? Work with the surrounding counties that have basically similar demographics to us. And then from there, what does the state know? If the state knows anything about the specific issue we have in the local situation, is basically you communicate with every stakeholder and invite every stakeholder, because it takes everyone to have a viable, reliable public school system. And that's some of what's been missing, and that would be the tack that I would take. Involve as many different category of stakeholders as I could. Thank you very much. My name is Jim Touchman.
Good morning. My name is Ed Wilson, and I'm running for Marion County School Board District 3. And I want to thank the CEP for putting on this wonderful event, and thank each of you for showing up to get to know your candidates. First and foremost, I always seek input from God. He's my ultimate leader. Secondly, then I would try to seek out successful experts in the field or the problem, addressing the issues that we're talking about. So I would look for experts who have been successful in overcoming these problems. My name is Ed Wilson. Thank you all very much.
All right, thank you very much. The second question will begin with James and move that way through the line and then finish with Ron. All right, and it's a two-part question. How will you build consensus and support in the work of the school district, and who do you bring to the table with you?
Thank you. If you don't mind, could you repeat that one more time?
I would be glad to. After I get my eyes out. How will you build consensus and support, consensus and support in the work of the school district, and who do you bring with you to the table?
Thank you. Well, first, as I said earlier, the community. We need parent involvement, number one. Number two, what we need is, we need to not only sit there and ask her what's wrong and what's this, but we need roundtables. I live in Marion, and I talked to some parents that recently last week. And one of the things that one parent asked me is, why doesn't the school board come to small communities like Marion or other communities? If we include communities, smaller communities, maybe our parents would be more energized to get involved in the school system, or even come out to support me. Thank you.
Building consensus is one of the most difficult things that I've faced with the school board, and most of you know that. To build consensus, we have to have communications, and we have to really sit down and talk with each other. And we have to, at some point, be willing to take and give. And over the past few years, one of the things that you've always heard, Bobby James, is a calming voice, trying to get all of us to reach a consensus on what we're doing as a school board district. One of the things that's so important to me is the fact that our consensus leads to a very productive school system. And how do we do that? We continue to work with all of our partners. And when I say that, when I look at where I am today, one of the things that I spoke about is I feel that the school system should be on first team. When I say first team, I think it's important that all of us in this room sit down and talk with your school board representatives and colleagues. A consensus to get 5 people to do something is very difficult. But over the last 30 years, I've managed to get everybody to come to some conclusions about various projects. And again, it is important for us to understand we're talking about something where you need someone with experience and people trust. And this is what we have to build. You have to have a trust in the people that you're working with. And how do we do that? We go back to one teacher, one classroom, one student. school, and we work together as a team. And that is through communication and talking. Thank you.
I believe that consensus and support is extremely important. Communication is something that the school board, I feel right now, lacks a little bit, and I feel that I would come in and be ready to listen and not argue. And I feel that you would need the support of the superintendent, we need the support of the administrator, we need the support of the teachers, the parents. And I would also like to build bridges with the working community. You guys are a plethora of information. And as going back to what I said on my earlier message, I think it's important that we produce good quality citizens. And I feel with the knowledge that is out there and the experience and the talent as a community that we could all work together, support each other, and work as partners. It's extremely important. Thank you.
Building consensus. We all are elected officials, and we all have our unique qualities and goals and responsibilities that we bring to the table. If we are united in reaching academic excellence for each and every student, then we can reach consensus. But if our goal is to lead a team that's failing, I don't see where there is going to be consensus. Currently, Marion County ranks 44 in the 67 district. This year, last year. Currently, we are at 51, and the team is failing. So where are we? Where is the consensus here currently? What I would like to see happen is consensus within the community where all, and the school board members, and where all team members are united towards an upward trend, and that is academic excellence. Thank you.
To build consensus, you first have to educate people. People have to know the pros and cons of every issue that's done, of every business decision, of every school board decision. They have to know what the implications are, what the forces are for it, what the forces are against it. You have to educate people. After you get out the information, you disperse the information as widely as possible. You meet with groups then, you meet with town hall, you may have town halls, you may meet with different individual groups, and you get the information out. You get the newspapers to support you. You talk to your legislatures, you talk to everybody, you can talk to parents, you talk to other school board members, and you all work together. But it has to be done through communication. However you decide to do it, depending on the strength of the issue, you must get the community involved, and you can only do it through educating them. Thank you.
Okay, building consensus and gaining support are two different issues. You can have consensus if someone in your group just acquiesces and says whatever. More importantly, is you need to have synergy because participation is required in that. Once you build the fact that everybody's on board, and a lot of people aren't going to get on board because people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. You have to actually have a piece of yourself in the decision. Once people understand that you are involved and you're in, it's easier to get their support. Once you have their support, then you can gain their ideas and then work on a consensus that's actually participatory and works with the best everyone that's involved has. One of the things that I've noticed as a teacher is a lot of parents who don't think that the school system wants them involved. They have to understand that we do, and we have to show them that we want them involved. Inviting them in. We already do newsletters, we already do phone calls. We need to show them somehow that they are as important to us as their kids are. And their kids need to be their primary goal in education. And in doing that, one of the things, since I am a teacher, I believe I bring to the table at least some kind of support from the close to 3,000 teachers we have, the teacher support personnel. Hopefully, they can rally behind something that they believe someone with their voice has on board.
I think that in order to build consensus, the first thing you have to do is treat each other with respect. give everybody a chance to have their input in a respectful way. I'm very accustomed to working with a wide, diverse group of people to come together and get things done. We have to achieve much better education for our children. And I think that needs to be the first thing that we all agree on, is that Marion County must do a much better job of preparing our children to be successful. And it shouldn't just be a consensus with the board, it has to have that, but also with the superintendent. We all have to work together to achieve common goals, and we have to start by setting the proper goals and then planning the different steps to reach those goals. Thank you.
Again, consensus and support, they are two different ideas. Consensus with business partners, as I talk to people out in the community, there is a real credibility problem with the school board. The school board can put out issues like firing teachers, for instance, and then when the community doesn't raise the tax that we ask them for, we pull those teachers back into the classroom. There's a credibility issue there. If we're dangling bait like that to gain more support, there's a credibility issue. I bring parents in. Listen, our board meetings are held in a courtroom-like setting. I know you realize that. And I believe someone here on the board said it. Why aren't we out in the community? Why are we not out where our parents are? Why is the board not able to go out and have these meetings in public places? Parents, for me, an example, parents, when they receive communication from the school board or communication from their school, why does it always tend to be negative? That's the communication that our parents get from the school board. Your child's done this. Come and